Hello international friends, now comes the English translation of our previous video. Today's text is not a seal, it's a tablet. It's Pita Pilos 711, and you can see the reading here. This reading, of course, has already derived the transcription from the book of J.T. Hooker, and it's the introduction in linear B, and you can read it without many difficulties, so you can come to the text very soon. So Ovide, there is an L here, but you cannot write it Olvide, maybe it is Olvin either. So see happiness, that's some kind of greeting, like be happy. Pyrgi skilis, there you can't write this R here, right? And you can write this S, these S's here. So Pyrgi skilis. Now Pyrgi was, that's a female name, of course. She was the wife of Alcatheus, son of Pelops. And Alcatheus used to live in Ilia, in the province of Ilia, in the Peloponnese. So Skilis, this is from Skilus, a place name. Because this woman was from Skilunda, Skilus, modern place, and an ancient city of ancient Trophilia. This is written as an identification, so that further, let's say, misunderstandings will not happen. Now, Opte burn Vanakan, the king, Thiki, in his grave. Let's stop here. We have some, let's say, questions before that. Vanakan, why is it with a W? Okay. And then again, Avievan, which is the name Augeas. Why do you read Aukeva as Augeas? Let's see. What happened to the sound digama is that it started, let's say, as a clear V. You can have an indication about that from the fact that it is digama is also called vav or vow. So you have this indication, and if you take a look here on this text, which is from the Little Scott Dictionary, in the word digama, then I'm not going to read everything, just the highlighted parts. When it comes to the sound, it's pronounced closer to the Latin V, okay? And the grammarians call this Aeolian digama, maybe because it became known to them by the Aeolian poets. So you can see it in Sappho, and so you can see Avos with a clear V, with an Ypsilon being read as V, instead of Aos, which is Eos, the sun, let's say, or actually not the sunset, the opposite of the sunset, the morning, the dawn. Kavaxes instead of Kataxes, from Katagnimi, and then Avata instead of Awata, how it should be, which is the Hodi, or the song, let's say, or In many places it survived in Latin and other languages where it was lost, while it was lost in Greek, such as inos, but vinum in Latin, ikos, but vicus, and ergon, but werke in German, work in English, of course, but it was also work in more ancient forms of English. Within, videre. So, in the same manner, it existed in the middle of words, as it seems in the words as ovon, ovum, ovis, ovis, davos, davus, and so on. It was transformed to a vita in some Laconian words, such as vagos, which is, it used to be agos, let's say the leader. Vannas, this is what we should keep here, vannas, which used to be annex, let's say. Vicati, 20 for 20. Vergon as the work, as we said, which should be ergon, vinos as inos, again the wine, and so on. In the same manner, many Dorian words being found in Hesychius with an initial gamma, probably because of a mistake, instead of digama, such as gandanin instead of handanin, gados instead of idos, year instead of air, ver, you can see the, and then ietos instead of ethos, the year, and so on. Gestia instead of hestia, and it became vesta in Latin. Inos instead of inos, so you have vinos, where was it? You had vinos and you had inos again. So, that's why vanakan is written with a clear V here, or W, okay, but phonologically you can understand it as a V, vanakan. So, burn the king in the tomb, avievan, avien, damoklon, damos, the people, kleos, let's say the pride of the people, or the one who was very popular. But let's go back to Avievan. How did we come to Augeas, right? The king that you know, Augeas. Well, it happened so, when this digama, this sound in the middle, was eliminated, there happened two processes in some parts of the Greek language, in some areas of the where Greek was spoken. This elimination provoked this epsilon to become epsilon iota, a long epsilon, so as to balance, let's say, what was lost. Okay, so this was the one process. The other phonological process would be in other places of Greece, that it just went away without any balancing, so it remained Augeas, let's say, with a short vowel. So it left without any trace. So you have here what you have is the previous form before those elimination processes. So burn the popular Augeas, the king, inside the tomb. Kerna vanasi via Now, kerna, kernos is, let's say, a sacrificial jar. We will make it more English and say it's cernus and call it cernus. So cernus was actually a sacrificial jar, and via from the verb vio, I leave. The one kerna, so I'm sorry, kerna is whatever is inside this cernus, whatever is inside these jars, and it should be something, some kind of food that the people attending the ritual would share with each other. This is still the case in Greek funerals too. So, Vanasi, so at the offerings, let's say, is the one who lives next to the queen. Vanasi, Vanasa, the same here as with Vanakan, you can understand that. But Via, we have to explain this J, this yacht here, and this happens quite often in linear scripts, so as to avoid, let's say, two equal vowels and these two yotas, these two I's, let's say, touching each other. This is why this yot occurs. Schou, from echome, this is an imperative form. It means many things, even to refrain oneself from doing something, but here it means take care. This is another meaning of this verb. Kara, O face, O head. Gorgilies, O head of Gorgilia, take care. And then there is the sign for the sacrificial jar. What do we have here? Why does he not speak directly to the person, but he speaks to the head? Well, that was pars pro toto, the part instead of the whole. And you can see it also in Antigone, which it starts, just the first line is O kinon avtadelphon isminis kara, or let's say common and familiar head of my sister, Ismene. And we have the same here. So Gorgilia, that's a name, but Gorgilia, you can, from Gorgon, quickly, and Illo, which means the word helix, or helicopter derives from that. It means I'm, let's say, turning, I'm moving fast. So Gorgilia, her name happened to be chosen according to a psychical trait of this girl, that she used to move fast, and she says, in order, oh dear Gorgilia, take care of the first jar, so move it quickly around and let people have their share. Kerna again, avmoti, via, koronovisa. Okay. In the offerings again, avmoti via, the one who leaves, just the same word. Avmoti, to the unmarried woman, next to the unmarried woman. There was, let's say, probably some princess that was not married, and she had some slaves, and she had a very special slave next to her, and then the order is that she has to take care of the ritual too. Koronovisa, the one that came from Koroni, talking about the princess. It's obvious that she was she was a princess, and once hearing a relative and once hearing the news of the dead king, Augeas, she rushed to that place for his funeral. Kerna, Vanasi, Villa. Again the same, just as here, okay? Kineas Schu Kara, this is, that's interesting. Kinea is a name, of course. Oh dear, let's say, head of Kinea, take care. Tokiden Visa, although you have come Tokiden from a birth, a childbirth. She had just given birth to a child, and probably what he is saying here is that probably it's not the best work for a woman that just gave birth to a child, but she is the most fit for that. And then he has the sign for the jar again, okay, the sacrificial jar. So we have to understand the image that there was some kind of funeral inside the tomb. The tomb must have been big, because if you are burning the king inside the tomb along with all his offerings, it's probably not a small one, right? And before that, people would stand there and have a share from sacrificial offerings that would be given to them from some women that were arranged for this job. Well, it's astonishing, right? And because this tablet is not just a single tablet, it doesn't stand alone. There is 13 tablets, and the other tablets, they are all transcriptions of the offerings that this king would take with him in the tomb. So it was a very rich funeral. I would like to thank our kind photographer, Themis, and until next time, I wish you all the best.